Congressman, it was hard to enjoy the weekend. I'll bet you felt the same way because, everywhere you go, even I was at a sandbar talking to people, and everyone who came up to me who recognized me from Fox or the show or whatever, it's the first thing, like, you believe that? And I said, no, I don't. I don't. I mean, I know it happened. I believe it, but I just don't believe it. I don't even know if that makes sense. I'm having a hard time with this whole thing, as I think we all are. And I think the disgusting part of this is, as conservatives, we say, our thoughts and our prayers, and we sincerely mean that. And people on the left think that's funny and humorous and love to make fun of us and attack us. But, it's interesting, Congressman, their proposals are even more ridiculous. So their proposals now are the police response was faulty, so they can't protect you. And you shouldn't protect yourself either. So we're just going to go for law-abiding gun owners' guns, and we're going to let the wolves of society prey on you like sheep. I mean, it really is. Like I said to Jim, the producer, I'm like, is this really where they're going with this? Like, you did nothing wrong, but give us your guns so the bad guys can hunt you down. It's getting crazy.
Look, let's first start with the people of Uvalde. These are some of the best people I know. It's a town that's just outside of the district I represent. I work with them often. We've had numerous meetings down there about the border situation. They're dramatically impacted by the border. See, they're just great people. So obviously, we've been thinking a lot about them, working with others to try to help get them what they need, food and resources. But like what you're talking about here is what the left does. It's the Rahm Emanuel, right? Never let a good crisis go to waste. They never will. They never do. Right? This isn't about bleeding and their hearts are going out to people in Uvalde. This is about wanting to use this crisis for a political action, a political move. And you said about the police officers, right? And obviously law enforcement better than I do and better than most. And one of the things that's driving me crazy here is how everybody just wants to rush out there and Monday morning quarterback judge everything that went down. Now, look, I don't love some of the things that I'm hearing out of some of the reports, but we still don't know a lot of facts. And everybody's rushing out there to point fingers at either the gun or point fingers at the cops. They don't want to point fingers at the shooter. They don't want to point fingers at a society that has created a culture where an 18-year-old boy hasn't been in school for 2 years, doesn't have a dad around, has a mom on drugs, his grandparents are trying to help, and the next thing you know, he's spending 2 years playing Call of Duty and not going to school. What do you think happened? What do you think happens when our young men are watching porn, when they're out, playing video games, shooting people, and they're out working? Yeah. They're not getting the value and the dignity that comes with hard work and engagement. And so we've got to talk about a deeper cultural rot in this country, and we've got to make sure that people understand that when Democrats say wide open borders, when Democrats defund cops, when Democrats want to endanger our society, they don't want to focus on hardening schools and doing the things you ought to do. Rather, they want to point fingers at law-abiding citizens. And to that, I'm telling you, they're pushing some buttons that are not going to work out very well.
No, they're not. I did my whole monologue on my Fox show on that this weekend, how, you're right, Congressman. Sadly, tragically, it's stunning that we don't see more broken men, engaging in hopefully not violence like this. But it's amazing we produce any kids anymore that turn out okay. I mean, I brought up that exact topic, okay? You're immersing these kids in 24-hour violent entertainment, right? Whether it's rap music, regular music, whatever it may be, violent movies, video game culture, whatever it is, right? You're detaching them from any social relationships at all. All they learn is through TikTok and Instagram. All they learn is what they don't have. They see influencers. Look at me, I'm in Dubai or whatever, right? You bathe them in this violent entertainment. You expose them to graphic, hardcore porn at the touch of a fingertip, right? And we wonder what happened, and oh, yeah, definitely the gun. Congressman, me and you are not that far apart in age. I mean, I had a friend in the Secret Service. I told the story in the Fox show this weekend. He lived in Independence, Missouri. He used to drive his pickup with the rifle in the back on the rack, and so did his friends. No one ever worried about a school shooting. The guns were on the kid. They were right there in the parking lot. Nobody did that. There is something about our culture that's broken.
Dan, that's exactly right. Like, look, we had a gun rack in the Blazer, my dad, that I used to drive in and go to school, and we had guns in our vehicles. You'd lock the door of your vehicles just to make sure. But heck, I didn't even do that because I lived out in the country. You didn't think twice about it. And it isn't just about having a little 22 lever action or a 20 gauge single, shotgun. It's about having the weaponry you need to defend yourself against criminals, violent cartels, and where this country is headed in terms of tyranny. Right? That's why the founders gave us that, right? For the necessary and the security of a free state, right? That's not, so you can go pop a squirrel. Like that's not why the Second Amendment exists. But Democrats don't want to acknowledge that, right? And they'll say, oh well, these weapons are designed to kill people. Like, yes, that's exactly what a gun is designed to do: kill whatever it's shot at. But the problem is we've got boys that we are raising to not be men. That's the problem. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. We have men who are out, they're irresponsibly running away from their job as a dad, as a man. If you don't fix that, we can't fix the culture. And you sure as hell can't give up our rights as law-abiding citizens to defend our family and to defend our community and to hold against tyranny. Keep in mind, China was locking people in buildings catching fire so that they could tell them how they're going to handle a virus. That crap ain't happening to Chip Roy or to the people that I represent. We won't do that. So let's just calm down. Let's protect the people that we need to protect. Let's protect our children. Let's rally around the people of Uvalde. Let's fix our schools. But let's have real conversations. Was the hardened classroom with a steel door and concrete or cinder block walls, did that make it harder for the cops to get in? Now, I don't know when they got the key, and I don't know whose fault it was. I'll review that over time. But let's have those conversations. Let's figure out what is good for our folks and not what the left wants to do to enforce power over us.
All right, we're talking to Congressman Chip Roy. Congressman, last question. I'll let you go. Thanks for your time, of course. You come from a rich energy state, rich with resources, Texas. The economic powerhouse, one of them easily in the country and the world. I mean, it's just an amazing place. Yeah, the Biden administration, right before you came on, I was reading a Wall Street Journal article about how this energy regional cooperative is basically warning the Biden administration that 2/3 of the country could face blackouts this summer. Congressman, you're up on the Hill. They're doubling down. I mean, you have these Green New Dealers up there with Biden who they are literally staring them in the face and saying, you are going to cause a blackout. And yet they're moving forward with this Green New Deal agenda. I don't even, what is going on the Hill with your Democrat colleagues?
Well, they're crazy, and they're chasing unicorn energy policies that are basically going to kill us. Look, China has 1,100 coal-fired plants. They're building one per week. We're sitting on a mountain of natural gas in Texas. We could pump all the gasoline we want in the world. And what are we doing? We're going to pretend that we can all drive Teslas tomorrow and that we can suddenly power our homes with unicorn, solar panels and wind. And it's killing people. It's killing people. We had a week when Texas was struggling. Why? Because 17% of the wind was actually producing energy. When you take nuclear, you take coal, you take gas off because you're subsidizing this ridiculous quote-unquote clean energy, by the way, which causes lots of issues. Democrats don't care about any of that. Meanwhile, they're empowering Russia. They're empowering Venezuela. They're empowering the Middle East. They're not empowering us. And basically, if we had done our job, we would actually be able to have head off the war in Ukraine. Instead, we helped, encourage it.
This has to be so frustrating for you, being from Texas, floating on a sea of valuable petrochemicals. It's got to be just horrifying, you listening to these dunces on the other side of the aisle up on the Hill. I'll let you answer that another time. You've been generous with your time. Congressman Chip Roy, you're always welcome on the show. Thanks for visiting us again. We always appreciate your time.
Happy to come on. God bless you. Happy Memorial Day to everybody out there, especially those of you who lost loved ones recently. We're remembering. We remember you. We remember everybody. World War II, Korea, Vietnam, everybody. God bless you all.
Yeah, likewise. Confirmed, folks. Confirmed. Thanks, Chip.